Chevron 7, locked! Would you shut the hell up? Sorry, sir. Not you, Doctor. Excuse me? Consider your resignation accepted, Bob. You can't do that! Oh, please, I gotta find you to have you shot. This is the biggest mistake you will ever make! But I think I'll stick with my original thought. Would you shut the hell up? I promise you will only live to regret this! Go ahead, Doctor. Hello everyone, and I apologize if you didn't understand that opening skit at all. If you didn't know, it's a rough recreation of one of my favorite scenes from the show that today's game is partly based on. That show is one of my favorite shows of all time, Stargate SG-1, and just to give a quick rundown for anyone who has never heard of it before, it is a sci-fi show where people gain access to an ancient alien-made artifact that can create wormholes to other planets. Now, this often had the characters going off and solving puzzles set up by the aliens that built the Stargate, so what Gizmo seems to have done here is, fittingly enough, made a puzzle game based off the show and its various spin-offs. Now, there actually was a Stargate in that opening area, but unfortunately, I do not have a power source for the dialing device. So I go into the pyramid here hoping to find one, and what I find is a puzzle. Doesn't seem like there's a solution at first, but if you look at the wall, there are symbols all across it that match the 9 symbols down here. And if you press them in order from the bottom of the wall to the top of the wall, here we have our power source. A 0-point module, or ZPM as they would often call it in the show. And if you're familiar with the show, you would know that a ZPM has way more power than is necessary to power a Stargate, but for the sake of this game, it works. Now, in order to use a Stargate, you need an address of sorts. Except in this case, we have an address of star constellations because, if you didn't know, that's what those symbols on the dialing device are. Input 7 symbols, the last being the point of origin for the planet you're on, and you're off to the races. The Stargate here is incredibly well detailed and also really well animated. My only complaint is that you only need 3 symbols to dial an address instead of 7 like you just had in the address. In any case, wormhole established, off we go. Now, this segment of the game is actually not based on SG-1, it's based off a segment from Stargate Atlantis. That first segment, I can't remember any points in either the movies or the shows that it was based on. With this segment, however, it's pretty blatantly based on an episode of Stargate Atlantis. I open these boxes, I don't find anything. This box, however, I find 3 devices that are actually extremely necessary for the puzzle. And if you've watched Stargate Atlantis, you know exactly what I'll have to do to solve the puzzle. I don't have a place to install the devices here. However, when I reach the end of this hallway, there's 3 holes. Now, in the show, this particular puzzle was used to open up a secret laboratory that was hidden within Atlantis. The reason it was never found before is because the devices had been removed, but once they were reinstalled, each one will ring a note when you plug it in, and also when you touch it. Ring them in order, and it will dephysicalize the wall. Now, this is not the secret laboratory from the show. What I just passed there is a bomb. A nuke, to be precise. Now, all I can really do is turn on the 3 computers, and of course, I got a message. If you receive this transmission, you need to disarm the bomb. We can't risk using the transport rings to get you out while the bomb is still active. Our tech guys are trying to break down the code, and we have narrowed it down to the following list. We suggest you try them randomly if time is running out. And of course it is, because I only had 1 minute 30 seconds from the minute I came in here. Now, the only choice you really have here is to just input the disarm codes and hope that you get the right one before it goes off. I'm just going to put these in here. And bam. Glad to see you've made it, sir. Thanks to your good work, our team has now decrypted the information on these computers. We have learned of the existence of a weapon that could defeat our enemies. We are sending you to retrieve it, but be careful, it is protected by a time dilation field, and you will need to find a path around or through the field, or you will get trapped frozen in time like the people there. And here we are. Now, this puzzle is based off one of the later episodes of Stargate SG-1. I believe it's in Season 9, though I could be wrong about that. And you can't walk into the wrong place, because if you do, you'll be stuck in time, and you will die. You need to find a way around it. And just like in the show, you are unable to use any technology to try and read where the field is. However, because the field freezes everything in time, not just people, you can use the rocks to sort of draw a path through. I'm just going to speed through this segment because it took me a while and I died a few more times and I don't want to bore you. And of course, now you send me the message after I've died a few times. Come on. The only real way through here that I've found is just to sort of draw a path. It's particularly annoying how in this puzzle you can't actually turn your character around. You have to walk and hope that you have enough room to turn around. Now here we have ourselves another Stargate, and the weapon is just behind that force field, and we have ourselves another puzzle. But if you've been paying attention, this is actually the easiest puzzle in the game. What we are making here is the symbol that you've probably seen several times in this game already. The pyramid with the sun directly above it. I mentioned before that you need a point of origin in order to dial a Stargate, and this is actually the point of origin for Earth used in the show. I'm not exactly sure why it was used for this particular puzzle here. It's not based on anything from the show that I can remember. In any case, I got what I needed. Sir, I'm really glad to see you safe and sound. Congratulations on retrieving this weapon. We need to go back to base right away to figure out how to use it against our enemy. Lead the way, sir. Final thoughts. I love how faithful this game managed to be to the shows that it's based on. The time dilation field was still a challenge even though I knew exactly what to do, and the sections that weren't based on anything from the shows still felt like they fit the style set up by the shows. Maybe the final game will even have a section based off of Stargate Universe. Now, as for the Stargate itself, it was really well made and well animated, though I kind of wish it dialed all 7 chevrons that I inputted. The only negative I have aside from that is the fact that the entrance to the secret room is completely effortless if you've seen Stargate Atlantis. That said, I'm still happy with what I see here, and I'll be paying attention for any updates. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the Dreamiverse.